welcome sir here, who is not belong to Mumbai, he is from Delhi. He is here for some work, but we are very fortunate to have him today. So sir, I welcome you on behalf of our management, principal, all my colleagues and all my dear students. And we are eagerly waiting to hear you on the very fantastic, interesting topic for today. I hand over mic to Laksha madam.
So the introduction is very difficult because he is a thorough academician. Is it passed his graduation from Delhi University? पता है ना सबको? कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी है फेमस? इसका एडमिशन भी वेरी डिफिकल्ट होता है, पता है कि नहीं? Sir has passed his graduation from Delhi. He is a published editor and publisher of India Economy India, a monthly research and academic journal published in both and in Hindi since 2005 to till today. Intensively covered all government India ministry related to economic and social affairs as a reporter, writer, research editor and publisher. Having an experience of 30 years of exploring major reports. एक रिपोर्ट लिखना है तो we find very difficult. एक इवेंट का रिपोर्ट लिखते हो ना? क्या लिखते हो? Any policy strategies always evaluated by him and published in very reputed journals and newspapers. Having the experience of 30 years of exploring major reports, surveys and official documents, general budget, economic survey and other official documents, annual report studies, etc. Brought more than 200 issues of Indian economy covering all major areas. Issues and sectors of Indian economy varying from primary sector, secondary and tertiary sector, from capital infrastructure to social capital, and from three tiers of Indian economy: national economy, regional economy and local economy. He has also written several articles on international trade to domestic trade, finance, management, money market, fiscal condition, money market, corporate, education, health, Chamber of Commerce, etc. Government of India accredited journalist since the year 2011. It's a very prestigious position in journalism. He's completed his MA with statistics. यहाँ statistics कैसा लगता है बच्चों को? Qualified the MPhil written exam in 1991 and 92 for CSRD JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, but not selected in the interview any reason. PG Diploma in Journalism from Indian Institution of Mass Communication from Genuine University, Delhi. Topic of his dissertation was role of mass media in economic development and status of development journalism. He's worked in IIMSc as a researcher, enrolled in PhD and completed PhD also. He's worked social research and development wing, Sahara India Mass Communications, Noida in September 1993. He served as a journalist in many.
ठीक है, ऐसे पकड़ना है, ठीक है,
Thank you, ma'am. First for inviting and then introducing myself in this gathering of brilliant and curious students of economics in this Matunga branch of SNDT Women College. Madam Daksha Madam, Madam Renuka, sitting on the dais. As you have fixed up the topic, achievement of $5 trillion economy. Students, as you have well known this noticeable development, India is first ushering into the era of Amrit Kal of its independence, and now India has become the fifth largest economy of the world. It has around $3.8 trillion economy, which is expected to touch $5 trillion by next 2027. Earlier it was targeted that by 2029 or 30 we will be getting it. But the way we are developing and our annual growth rate is coming, we are very hopeful that this target we would be able to achieve by year 2027. And till 2027 our ranking would improve and we will go up to fourth position, fourth largest economy in the world. We think we will cross either Germany or Japan. And by 2047, India has fixed up the target. It means that we are in the Amrit Kal, in the platinum jubilee of independence. When we go to the diamond, when we celebrate diamond jubilee of our independence by 2047, we will become a developed economy. As you know, we are right now a developing economy. We are the leader of developing economy, and this is the major target. Our Prime Minister keeps saying that this would be a major Modi ki guarantee that we will become the developed nation by year 2027. Students, first of all, you must know, because you all are students of economics, your madam teacher are sitting here. What is the rate of growth? GDP. I am not going to explain in a textbook manner. GDP, gross domestic product, is a very much it's being taken in a significant note, because till 1990 we were in the socialistic and communistic frame of economy, and after 1990 or say 1991, our economy had a different regime that was called a new economic policy, which was based on four pillars: privatization, liberalization, globalization and marketization. And we just allowed all sorts of investment into our economy, from foreign sector, from the domestic corporate sector, from government sector, from the individual, all sorts of investment, rather through in terms of FDI, foreign direct investment, in establishing any factory, big plant, and also in terms of FII, the foreign institutional investor, the money which come to the stock market. To be allowed both sorts of investment, rather you can the portfolio investment or you can say the hot money. So after 1991 we had a high growth regime, and before that our economy was called as a Hindu rate of growth. Professor Raj Krishna coined this term, where country was getting only 3.5% growth, 3 to 3.5% growth. And for that matter, we were not able to circulate more and more income, more and more and a better standard of living to our poor lot and the huge population of the country. And our economy was based on the planned sort of economy. Every 5 years, we were drafting our plan, we were deciding the tune of investment, the rate of growth, and all sorts of construction of physical infrastructure, human development, and all sorts of things being supported through annual budget in terms of non-planned expenditure. But the total course correction was done after 1991, and we accepted this fact: the socialist or planned economy or capitalist economy is not going to help the cause of poverty, unemployment, hunger and misery. So when new economic policy got started, slowly and steadily, it had added more growth rate to Indian economy. And our economy since then always have above 5% growth. Even we had touched 9% growth during 2010. And our growth rate when it started to go up, government has a more tax revenue. Government has more tax revenue, middle class has started to have a burgeoning growth rate, new urban center, new industrial center were started to establish. And there was a big demand for the rural laborer. The states like Bihar, UP, Odisha, West Bengal, they are very human power surplus state. And they had a huge demand for the whole major industrial center, metropolitan center, industrial center, and a state capital city. Urbanization and industrialization opens up the avenue of several things. And also it created employment opportunity. So then we accepted this fact that in India only trickle down theory is a theory of reducing poverty or eradicating poverty. When growth rate will go up, the all cycles of economy will get rejuvenated. Like say, the first come investment, then it becomes production, and production after then employment के बाद फिर consumption के बाद फिर demand के बाद फिर जो है investment, और ये then cycle gets started. So then when cycle gets started and high growth achieved, then there is a automatic transfer of resources to the poor. Automatic income capacity, paying capacity gets increased among the poor class, and poor class also gets benefited. Because earlier there was a controlled economy and distribution was given more emphasis, but in practice it was not achieved. We were not able to reduce poverty, create employment opportunity for the unemployed, and also we were not able to raise the standard of living. But when growth rate started to go up, we have a more opportunity for the poor, consumption, employment. And it was accepted also that redistribution of wealth, it is better to first add your wealth and assets and income and then think about the distribution. So it was also regarded that if you want to reduce poverty or attack poverty, there is no better alternative to provide employment or create employment. Employment is the best way to eradicate poverty, and it also not hampers economy. It never allows wasteful expenditure. It never allows the leakages or misutilization of the available resources. So it was well cleared, the concept was very clear after 1991 that we have to go on high growth path. And we never bother about the nationalization of many public undertaking which was earlier being done. And any problem gets started, people say just nationalize it, just hand over to government. And this was the method which started from 1947 and continued till 1990. We had many fundamental initiatives we had taken before 1991 era. We did green revolution, we did white revolution, we had a bank nationalization, we had a permit quota Raj was in a full flow in 1970. MRTP Act came in the operation because we were thinking that capitalist is a very bad idea, capitalism is a very bad idea, and it always ruins poor and the common people of the country. But the new development and growth model of economics, they were always feeling that until and unless you allow investment in the economy, until and unless you achieve a high growth rate, you cannot provide employment, you cannot provide income, we cannot provide major economic activity, all sorts of mobility in the economics. So it only possible when investment comes. तो हिंदी में कहा जाता है कि निवेश ही सर्वोपरि है, और 1991 के बाद ये मंत्र आया. Then our new economic era has already touched, this is 24 years and 35 years we have already spent. And there was not a year when we had a less 5% growth rate. But this was not the possibility before 1990. And when growth rate was achieved very on a high scale, then government has a more tax revenue, and government allocated more resources to the informal sector, to the rural area, to the agriculture development, to the physical infrastructure, to the all sorts of social infrastructure which is called human development. The major point of human development is education, health, sanitation and nutrition. So friends, we are talking about $5 trillion economy. It is true, the journey has been long and it has been filled with many ups and downs. During Manmohan Singh era of finance ministership, he faced lots of inflation problem. Our inflation was always in double digit mark and he was very pensive regarding the high rate of inflation. And till 1999 when NDA came in the power, they actually run very fast on the track of new economic policy, the track which was led by his predecessor Congress government. And Bajpayee started all sorts of new economic policy. It was called the new series of economic reform, new economic policy part 2 under the finance ministership Yashwant Sinha. And all indicator of economy got on a very high performance rate in between 98 to 2003 or 4 period. But politics has its own way, economics has its another way. They never complement each other. It is always said that good economics never allows good politics and good politics never allows having a good economics. So NDA government, despite performing so well in so many indicators, they lost election because there was no freebies on their platter. And the new regime of UPA came in the power. When they came in the power, they claimed, they declared that we will start a human face of economic reform. And they started a new kind of policy which was called, these policies are more inclusive, more touching to the farmers and rural people. Earlier Bajpayee government was more congenial to middle class because everything, the road, railway, media development, IT, telecom, all were performing very well. And during those times there was one revolution taking place that was called information revolution, that was called as IT revolution, that was called as a mobile revolution. These three things are the major events of last 75 years of our independence. So when UPA came in the power, they started a scheme like Manrega. It was a rural employment guarantee program. They just introduced a 7th pay commission for the government employee, which was so costly affair. And they also, in 2009 election, they waived farmers' loan that was estimated to be around 75,000 crore. These three decisions, it hampered our economy. It hampered the a natural sort of momentum which was operating in economy with the help of investment, both from public player and private player and all, as well as multinational player. And 2009 onwards, our economy started to deteriorate, and we have only hardly 4-5% growth. Inflation gone very high. Even food inflation was touching around 22% mark. And many, because of RTI law, many corruption and scandals started to reveal. So government had a huge political pressure in terms of bad economic growth, high inflation, and number of corruption and scandals which started to erupt. And till 2014, the new regime of NDA under the leadership of Narendra Modi, they just came in the power, and the economic circle thought that there would be a bigger and a new environment for the economic development, and economy will have a very soon a very good health. And that was also, that proved very right. 2000 onwards we saw that we have a 5% growth just gone up to 6%, 7%, and all sorts of many reformist decisions were taken. But in year 2016, because of political benefit, now it is proved. Earlier it was not proved. Earlier it was told that it was a big attack on black money. But one result we are just enjoying right now, that is the prevalence of digital payment in terms of UPI and all. And that was started through the demonetization. Demonetization just brought this achievement of digital payment. When Notebandi and demonetization was brought by Narendra Modi government, our economy also suffered a lot. In year 2017, we just kept the momentum of 6 or 6.5% growth, but after that, we had a continuous 3 or 4 years only 4.5 or 5% growth. And meanwhile, GST was also introduced, Then in year 2019, Corona pandemic came. So these all factors just hampers our Indian economy, and our growth rate was in year 2020. In year 2020 or 2021, we have a minus 10% growth rate, which was the lowest in the world. And this is a different story how we tackle Corona pandemic. We all may be knowing about this. Government did a splendid job, state government did a splendid job, many NGO worked a splendid job. And government of India just started vaccination of around 200 crore people. And that milestone was achieved, that mission was achieved. And after that, there was a sense of optimism which re-injected in our Indian economy. And year 2021, we started to grow at the rate of, because year 2021 it was estimated, after coming from very lower side, we will go all of a sudden at a very upper side, and so our economy achieved the growth rate of around 8.5%. And now after that, we have a 7.57% growth rate, and this story is continuing. And again, government becomes enthusiastic about its growth and about its ranking in the world. And we surpassed two great economic power of the Europe. First France, then United Kingdom, and now we are ready to surpass Germany. So students, this was the story of our growth. And till 2027, India has to achieve $5 trillion economy mark. But this is not a very goody thing. Because we have so many ups and downs, there are so many blocks, compartments in our Indian society, Indian economy, where there are huge inequality, there are various sorts of policy, there are differential treatment, there is no uniform or universal kind of good governance. In urban area, we find a very robust kind of governance, but in rural area, there is a corruption, malpractices, maladministration, leakages, loopholes, policy paralysis, institutional bottleneck. So many things are there. So I would like to tell that what are the challenges before us. So first of all, we have to find out what may be the possible area of growth, new area of growth. Because there are many areas which were providing a good growth and good return to our economy, but they have got the saturated position. We keep talking about BPO, we keep talking about IT, we keep talking about software. But that export has also limit. There are so many areas where we have to do good. Talking about the new areas of development, first of all, I would like to mention new energy. When we talk about new economy, then I would like to talk about new economy, new sorts of employment, new sorts of digital India growth, new sorts of infrastructure, new sorts of computer software in terms of robotic science, in terms of artificial intelligence, new sort of education, online education has gone a huge boost after Corona period. And Government of India has laid out a 1,000 crore broadband plan for the all rural areas, because during Corona period around 6 lakh villages, the schools existing in rural areas, they were all suffering because they didn't have any network facility, computer online system, and all students, they became child laborer because they have no other means of food and means of work. Their parents were very weak, they just do wages, and their children also deprived with education, they deprived with midday meal, and they become child laborer. So these are the lacuna which I will talk later. But right now I would like to say Government of India has just presented some vision for future growth also. And talking about this future vision, I would like to mention green hydrogen project. It's a huge source of energy. I would like to talk about all sorts of renewable energy. We have India has a big solar energy plan, wind energy, tidal energy. We have a digital network for all panchayat, 2.5 lakh panchayats. We have an artificial intelligence program. We have a new sort of public transport also. It is being said that when IT-enabled public transport service came into operation in form of Ola and Uber, it created more than 25 lakh employment to the country, and it also created a sense of satisfaction among the riders, among the consumers, because Bombay has always a very decent discipline and culture of public transport. But in city like Delhi and other areas, all public transport mode like rickshaw, taxi, they just charges public in a very odd manner. But when Ola and Uber came, it just galvanized the whole system, and public are using freely and easily all sorts of public transport. They leave their car at their home and they go by all sorts of public transport in an IT-enabled service like Ola and Uber. And this has created employment also. Everywhere there is a race for attracting more and more investment. Largest state of India, that is called Uttar Pradesh, where lakhs of migrant laborers work here in Mumbai. They are doing very fantastic work in inviting new sorts of investment, and just now they have planned to attract around 40 lakh crore investment, and they have targeted they will be generating around 40 lakh employment to their state citizens. So I can mention other sorts of employment also. You talk about food processing, this is also a new area. You talk about tourism. There are so many areas and facets of tourism which has not been explored. So there are many untapped areas in Indian economy which has to be tapped. And our Prime Minister, who is a very visionary person, he keeps talking about several new areas of growth and development where India can march on. Through the Man Ki Baat program, he provides and disseminates so many kind of information which generally people doesn't know. Even we media people also don't know about this. In which part of India there is a huge production of jackfruit, in which part of India there is a huge possibility of sericulture. So many kind of things are there which India has to just gain advantage and just market it throughout the world. And talking about the new vistas of development, I would like to especially mention that India is a hugely most populated country of the world, the largest youth population of the world. If we have a free flow of service trade in the world under the GATT agreement, under the WTO regime, then our all workers, whether white collar or blue collar, whether fully skilled or semi-skilled, have a huge employment opportunity in various parts of the world. But that has some limit, because you know most of the Kerala people are working in Gulf country. It is being said that around 70 lakh Indians are working in the all different city of Gulf country, and in all 2 crore NRI are there in the various parts of the world. America has already 40 lakh Indian population. Other than America, Canada, Europe, various parts of Gulf, I told Australia, even in Southeast Asia. So if India gets opportunity, India has a huge potential in agriculture also. That may be the harbinger of India's new growth story. Because I tell you, agriculture has a variety of things in India. It is a very unfortunate that around 50 to 60% of people are dependent on agriculture, but they are contributing only 15% to GDP. So we need diversification of agriculture in terms of fishery, poultry, sericulture, pisciculture, forestry, So many things are there. These are called allied activity of agriculture. So we can diversify our agriculture. We can also diversify our population, which is dependent on agriculture. If there are 5 people in a agriculture family, in a Kisan family, one family has to do cultivation, the other person has to do trade, and the other person has to do job in police or army, and other person has to do some other self-entrepreneurship thing. If one farming family in a rural India do a 5 kind of activity, they contribute more to the family income and also to the nation's income. So we need diversification of agriculture population and agriculture activity. Then India have definitely a new growth story. You all may be knowing that rural India has surpassed urban India in terms of volume of consumption. This is a very good story. Because earlier we were told that the rural people are totally poor, they are very miser, they have less income to spend, they have less paying capacity. But in all the remittances which came through world country or the other parts of country, it just galvanized the income of the family of the rural area. We must understand this fact. Even the most backward state like Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, and also some part of UP, they have done a wonderful job for last 10 years in terms of economic development. And very soon the Bimaru tag will fade away. Because it happens because of the remittances they are getting. And India is the largest remittance earner of the world, $40 to $45 billion. Everywhere we are achieving, we are getting. There are areas where we have to work more, and that is the export area. Still we have a huge imbalance between export and import. We have to import a huge amount of our energy needs, basically the petroleum products, around 70% of our need being imported. But in one area India has advantage, and that is the refinery area. We are fully self-sustainable and also self-dependent on in a refinery area. So India has started to import crude oil from the several countries of the world, whether Gulf or Russia or etc. And we are just refining them, processing them, and then we are exporting them. And a huge amount of export we are earning through the ready-made refined products, petroleum products. That is a very good sign. So when we started to use the alternative source of energy, green hydrogen, LNG, PNG, etc., as so many renewable energy, because India has already framed up a very ambitious plan for the solar energy. Many private and corporate players coming in this area, and they are exploring it. So these are the new area, and which we will provide a new momentum to India's growth story. Now, in the last phase of my speech, I would like to talk about the challenges. I would like to mention 4 or 5 challenges. First challenge is the huge inequality in the country. Oxfam is an organization which brings reports every year that talks about the inequality and poverty. The last year there was a report that in India 67% population added only 1% to their asset, and 1% population have added more than 78% of the asset. So there is a huge imbalance, there is a huge inequality. And it is true that कि जो धनवान है वो और धनी होगा, और जो नीचे स्तर पर है उसे थोड़ा ज़्यादा संघर्ष करना होगा. It will be not worthwhile to say, or it will be not true to say that the poor are just decreasing and going down and down. They are also developing if they get employment opportunity, if they get a better public amenity, if they get all sorts of DBT transfer from the government. Because government is interfering in so many activity of rural area and rural population. Many things are being done through government. So these things have definitely at least stabilized the economic condition of the poor, rather they are also getting opportunity and becoming richer, but that is not adequate enough, that is not substantial enough. So we have to do 5 or 6 things if we want to reduce inequality, because there is one preamble in our constitution that is called equality of opportunity, but in practice this is not. हमारे देश में जुगाड़, रसूख, सिफारिश, पैरवी स्टिल ऑपरेटिव. वन शुड एक्सेप्ट दिस फैक्ट कि हमारे हर सिस्टम में, मैंने तो किताब लिखा है, आई वुड लाइक टू शो माई बुक्स टू यू ऑल्सो. आई रिगार्ड करप्शन एज द बिगेस्ट एंड लार्जेस्ट प्रॉब्लम ऑफ द कंट्री, एंड दिस इज द मदर ऑफ ऑल प्रॉब्लम. आई रिगार्ड एट DNA ऑफ आवर सिस्टम. तो मैंने इस पे करीब आई स्पेंड अराउंड 10 years टाइम इन कंप्लीटिंग ऑल दिस बुक्स, because it's an encyclopedic books, and I have included and touched each and every aspect of corruption, because I studied and researched so many online and offline books of corruption written from several authors of the world. I never found a very comprehensive and holistic book on corruption, but I just researched it, observed it, I surveyed it also. And then I wrote this book in 2 volumes. This is a crusade against corruption on the neutral path, volume 1, and this is the volume 2. It has in all 9 chapters, and this book is a diagnosis of corruption, the diagnosis of the disease, and this book is the remedy of that disease. The book name is a dialogue on system change. I talk about system change in the system, an initiative to make a new India. I request your college teachers, they hire at least 1 copy in their library and give opportunity to the students. And it has a Hindi edition also. The students who want to read in Hindi, it all has a Hindi edition also. I utilized the time of Corona period and I translated my books in Hindi also. And I love this magazine, though it's not in a physical mode. Now it has come in the online mode. economyindia.co.in website. This is Economic India I run for more than 15-16 years. It touches all aspects of Indian economy. So talking about challenges, I would like to say that if we want to attack on inequality, our Prime Minister keeps saying about the one nation, one tax, one nation, one PDS system, one nation, one market. He keeps saying so many things. But I say that one nation, one education, one nation, one health system, one nation, one pension system, social security. Because the social welfare is one of the major work of any totalitarian government. You have to provide shelter, bread, and social security to widower, children, orphanage, old age people, etc., etc. But the government staff they are agitating. You just allow the old pension scheme in which they easily getting the half of their salary. But Government of India in 2004 just eliminated it, and they just linked with the Provident Fund scheme. So now 80% of the people, they don't get any pension. Remember, they only get 400 rupees pension in rural areas, and that pension is not also even paid on time. On 4 months, 5 months, ikatha jo hai na, they get it. But somebody whose population is around 70 lakh, Government of India has 70 lakh pensioners. A huge amount of money is being spent on that. Lekin you have to think about all the rural and remote area citizens also, they are getting only 400 rupees. So I talk about one nation, one pension. And fourth, one nation, one wage policy. You know that we have only 10% organized workforce and 90% are unorganized. They don't come under any kind of labor scheme, labor welfare, trade union policy, and etc. and etc. Their wages are not linked with even consumer price index. Government of India, they fix up pay commission at every 10 years. But you talk about corporate sector, 10% are getting very handsome salary. They get pay and perks in crores, in more than crores. But 90% corporate earning person, they even 8,000, 10,000, 12,000, 14,000. So there are so many classification of our wage earner. I don't say if you are a IT engineer, so you must also get the same amount what a casual worker gets. There must be different. There must be definitely a difference between all the skill and the deliverance of work. But there should be one uniform policy, which we do not have. पॉकेट्स हैं, अब अलग अलग पॉकेट्स में सरकार अलग अलग लोगों को इंटरेस्ट फुलफिल करती है. तो और एजुकेशन की बात हो तो हमारे यहाँ अलग अलग मीडियम, अलग अलग स्कूल, अलग अलग बोर्ड, अलग अलग सिलेबस. दो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हैज डन ए वंडरफुल जॉब. They allowed all sorts of Indian languages for the medium of education. This is a very revolutionary step. But I think we have to change so many things in our educational pattern if you want to create a equal India. चूंकि एजुकेशन का स्टैंडर्ड आदमी के तमाम उनके स्टैंडर्ड को बदल देता है, आपको इस बात को मानना पड़ेगा. लेकिन हम अपने अपने वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट में है. अगर हम जहाँ हैं उसकी बात करेंगे, देश के बारे में ग्रेटर लेवल पे हम नहीं सोचना चाहते. हेल्थ का भी करीब करीब वही स्थिति है. वी हैव ए 5-star होटल, वी हैव ए वेरी लो स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ हॉस्पिटल, एंड वी हैव ए वेरी लो स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ हॉस्पिटल्स ऑल्सो. आप यू गो टू द गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल, वहाँ पर इतनी भीड़ होती है लोगों को, चूँकि वो फ्री होता है. बट यू गो टू द बिग कॉर्पोरेट हॉस्पिटल, यू हैव टू पे ह्यूज सम्स ऑफ मनी. आई just advocate this thing. You don't eliminate private player operating in education sector or in health sector, but just create a regulator. As you know, public-private participation one of the buzzword in post 1991 area. In every sector, government just brings policy, create regulator, and allow both players to compete with each other and earn income, and also provide benefit to the consumer and add the tax kitty of the government. And this model has been very successful. I am talking about the new telecom policy, and the mobile revolution take place. कि TRAI as a regulator is provided cheapest telecom service in the world to the Indian consumer. And even private players who are notorious for profit earning, they are running under laws. And because of competition, Jio like company, they are pouring more than 1,000 crores of money in providing free benefit to their consumer. The consumer has become the king, and consumer is getting benefit because of the competition which was allowed through new 3 or 4 telecom policy and setting up a regulator kind of TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. If we have a regulator in education and health, not like TRAI, but at 3 level, district level, state level and central level, तो जितने स्कूल, कॉलेज, टेक्निकल प्रोग्राम हैं, उनकी फीस, उनके ग्रेडिंग और रैंकिंग के बाद भाई एक एडिक्वेट एनफ उनको तय किया जाए कि वो भी अपने पैरों पर चले. चूंकि एजुकेशन एंड हेल्थ इज ए बिग इंडस्ट्री ऑल्सो. Education and health not only a part of human development. When the manpower, they just create a manpower, they just add their value, they add their skill, they add their employability. Education and health. But education and health is itself a big industry. Big industry. It is the largest employer of the manpower. 1 crore people have gotten employment in education sector alone. And same story is in the health sector also. Because I have been told by some medical entrepreneur that medical is an industry where if you invest for say 1,000 crore, it will create employment more than any other industry, more than 3 times, 4 times, because it always requires manpower, nurses, paramedical staff, so many chances of employment opportunity are there. So if we frame a one nation, one education, one nation, one health, one nation, one pension, it will provide social welfare. It will reduce the inequality. And if we have a one sort of wage policy, it just creates it just eliminates dissatisfaction among our citizens. But there should be fair treatment with all. There should be an equal work environment for all. There must be, I don't say कि एकदम इसका कोई मॉडल तैयार है. This model can be evolved. इसका एक मॉडल बनाया जा सकता है with the help of technology, with the help of policy, with the help of both public and private player, with the help of all sorts of public researcher like us. So these are the challenges. Before becoming a developed economy, we have to just go through all these things. And talking about other areas, so we can say the good governance is always required. I keep saying that there are many areas where corruption has got eliminated, but there are many new areas of corruption has started. So we have to just frame a comprehensive and holistic kind of environment policy. Talking about corruption, I say only 7.7 mantras for eliminating corruption. First, there should be very simple, very easy, all sorts of anti-corruption laws. पहला काम है कि पहला अच्छा काम है. दूसरा, there should be everywhere policy-driven system. Policy-driven system means कि we have around 25 lakh office establishment. Everywhere there should be complaint and redressal mechanism. Kind of a जनता दरबार कि आपका अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है देर एंड देर सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएगा, न कि उसके लिए आंदोलन करने आप जंतर मंतर चले जाए और सरकार के सामने कई चीजें क्रिएट करें. तो इफ वी हैव ए फर्स्ट एंटी करप्शन लॉ, पॉलिसी ड्रिवन सिस्टम, देन we need a robust kind of institution. There are many institutions who have become the role model. Maruti company is called a role model. Amul दूध जो है कोऑपरेटिव का वो एक रोल मॉडल कहा जाता है. इसको फर्टिलाइजर वो एक रोल मॉडल कहा जाता है. तो वी नीड ए रोबस्ट काइंड ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन मेकिंग. फोर्थ इज एज मच एज यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. टेक्नोलॉजी से बड़ा रिफॉर्मर और कोई नहीं है. हमारे जैसे लोगों को ना भाषण देने की जरूरत है, ना करप्ट ब्यूरोक्रेसी को वहाँ पर सफाई देने की जरूरत है, या पॉलिटिशियन को जाके जनता के सामने भाषण देके अपने को ईमानदार बताने की जरूरत है. टेक्नोलॉजी विल डू एवरीथिंग. यू मे बी सफरिंग, यू मे हैव suffered through metro rail. In metro rail there is no corrupt TT, and in metro rail there is no without ticket traveler. Technology has enabled it, and there is a huge saving of money which is being given in terms of pay to the corrupt TT and all. But these things are not being operationalized in the rest of the Indian railway part. Railway में अभी मोदी सरकार ने ह्यूज इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है, 2-2.5 लाख करोड़ हर साल. एंड फॉर द लास्ट 10 years मतलब कि रेलवे में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर काफी खर्च किया गया है. इट इज ट्रू, बट यू आर स्पेंडिंग ऑल मनी ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ओनली. व्हाई नॉट यू अट्रैक्ट इन प्राइवेट सेक्टर इन लेइंग डाउन ट्रैक एंड जस्ट हैव ए रेवेन्यू शेयरिंग मॉडल? दैट गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट डूइंग. You allow, you just bring a policy and allow and attract private players. For the next 50 or 100 years we need 1 lakh new railway track, and private sector you come and invest and just share the profit. But that government is not doing. All the infrastructure is being created by government, and new sort of value-added train are being operationalized like Vande Bharat and etc etc. And private will be invited, just come और आप जो है अर्न करो और केवल जो है सजा के रोगन आप लगा. हम वी आर नॉट एबल टू डू दिस. You are creating infrastructure, but for the operation part you are inviting private players. So railway doesn't have a good model like telecom, and that model which was created with the help of both NDA government and UPA government. So these are the things, the new area of growth. Talking about food processing, talking about tourism sector, I think if you introduce rural tourism, it will be also a huge earner. Even the foreigners who came and go to the rural area, they have a very fantasy kind of thing in rural area. They got so happy when they view rural area. Why Varanasi attracts the largest number of foreign tourists there? Because there is a culture, there is a heritage, there is a all antique kind of thing there. very cultural food, music, so many things are there. So we can tap many untapped area, and then we have a very big and great foundation for new sorts of development, growth, and opportunity for 140 crore people of the country, which we have right now. That may go up to 200 crore also by year 2047. So these things are just for the new vision, new ambition, and new model of governance. The governance is the key area. Governance is key area, any area, whether you go to bank, go to agriculture area, you go to education area, health area, government offices. ये जितने ऑनलाइन जो सर्विसेज देना शुरू हुआ है, तब से लोगों को कितना आराम हो गया। हम लोग 30-40 साल पहले देखते थे कितनी हार्डशिप थी गवर्नेंस में, आज चीज़ें कितनी आसान हो गई हैं। जो न्यू जनरेशन है, they have become so mobile friendly, so online friendly, they even don't want to go to the shop and they just want to do everything online. So these are the things. So I think I have said all the things which I wanted to say, and if you have any query, I always welcome to reply your question related to economics, related to politics, or any sorts of public economic side of things. You just raise your hand, just name yourself and just ask questions. Thank you very much. I am delighted and I am very thankful to the madam teachers here, to the principals who invited me and gave me opportunity to say something before all the bright and brilliant